Welcome to Digital Asset News to get top stories in crypto. And I'm bringing on a bite-sized piece. Today, just as the thumbnail suggests, there's a lot of good information coming about, and there's some couple of reasons of why November is going to be a very bullish month. We had a great October. I think we're having a better November. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is market data. We're going to take a look at 3 reasons for this bullish momentum and what's going on. And also we're going to take a little story about Google and BAKKT dabbling into the Google Play Store and how they're promoting a partnership as far as with Google. And then lastly, we're going to take a look at a token that is integrated with Amazon, eBay, and Walmart. Crazy, right? Anyhow, so we'll take a look at all those things, but first take a look at what's going on into the market. So today is a beautiful day, Saturday, getting things done a little bit late because I've been lounging around the beach this morning. So hey, what are you going to do? Not a bad life. But here's what we have as far as the market. So we've got 2.31 trillion, and even though we're down a little bit, I think people mostly know what's going on. And what's going on is that, hey, we've had a heck of a run up, and we're going to actually see a little bit of a pullback, and that's usually how things go. Bitcoin price is 54.4. Daily sentiment is pretty neutral, but I expect it to go a little bit more bearish over the weekend. And then we take a look at just the sentiment analysis. Of course, we're using Trade the Chain, sentiment analysis, links in the description. We take a look at Bitcoin. I think it's what people know, because if we take a look at just the one-day sentiment, everything in green here, of course, is positive or bullish, and in red we turn a little bearish. And as the price has been kind of going up, people get a little bearish because they're like, wait. We went from like 40,000 to 55, 56,000 in a very short amount of time. There should be a pullback coming, and indeed there is. And we take a look at the hourly sentiment, same type of thing. If we take a look over the week long, we're like, yeah, as things start to go up, they're like, I don't know about this, and then off it goes. So that is essentially what's going on with the market. We're pretty much moving sideways as far as what is going on, and it's just one of those lazy Saturdays. Although XRP up 8%, watch out, that is great news. All right, so that's what's the first part of the market data, and let's just dig deep into a little bit more. And what I like to see is just some analysis, little on-chain stuff. First thing though, not on-chain per se, but Bitcoin logarithmic growth curves. And this is just a great chart. You can find this at lookintobitcoin.com. I'll link it at the very end. And as you can see here, let me just take a look at this. The middle portion is kind of like, obviously middle of the road, top is where it's very bent, and the lowest is at the low points. But as we can see, it's just logarithmically, everything is going up into a nice little crescendo into the end of 2022. And we can see that everything kind of follows along this little middle line point, right? But if we take a look here and we take a look at some of the peaks have happened just in the 4-year cycle, like we always talk about. And this, we peaked above everything. This was in the big bull run in 2013. Also, we had this peak right here in 2017. And look what we have over here. If we kind of scroll in or zoom in, we've got everything kind of like in the middle, just like it was before, but we haven't reached these peak marks. And when does it usually come? About right here. And what is this really saying that we could be? About 147, 150,000. I don't think it's gonna be that high. I think somewhere around 100 to 150 will be, I'd be okay with that. And that's just what this, what the logarithmic growth curve says. Then on top of that, we also take a look at the pi cycle top. And I've been talking about this the last 3 days, but remember, there's been 4 times when it's happened. First time was in 2013. Also in 2013 happened. This is when the in the yellow, the 111-day moving average goes on top of the 350-day moving average. So we had it twice in 2013, once in 2017, and we actually had it happen just a little bit ago when we topped out around $65,000 or so in April. But one thing I want you to make notice. See where the 111-day moving average, this yellow line right here, it starts as soon as it crosses, it just kind of, there's a divergence, and it just opens up. Then it comes back together, then it opens up. Comes back together, opens up, comes back together, and look at what we're doing now. We're opening back up to where I think we start to go higher and higher and higher until hopefully we reach those good numbers. And then lastly, I'll just leave you with this. And this is just a quick little chart. My big thing is I'm not a chart person, technical analysis person. And I love in the comment section, people like, don't use technical analysis. You're not a TA guy. Hey, I'm just trying to learn. You got to improve yourself, I think, right? So I'm looking at this. The thing that I always see is this RSI, the relative strength index. And it seems like every time we start to go above this 70 point, we got a big dip down, right? It doesn't happen all the time. It's just TA. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, I think, sometimes. But again, when we go above it, down, above it, down, 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 above it, down, down. Then the same thing over here, down, down, down. And I think we see it over this way. We had a big upswing. Whoops, hold on. Now you can see the RSI. Sorry, let me do that again. So over here, down, up, down, up, down. And then over here, we're going all the way up. And then what happens? Down. And then we're slowly building up again. So I believe we'll probably have the same pullback that we have every Sunday or Monday. And my friend Alex Mascioli, he told me, he goes, the easiest play I've been doing for the last 12 weeks is I buy everything on Tuesday and I sell on a Saturday or a Sunday because that's like just clockwork. And it's been working out pretty well for him. Anyhow, so that's what we have as far as for the market data. Let's jump into the 3 reasons for a little bullish momentum besides what we just took a look at. So this was an article brought to us by the friends of the show, JP Morgan. Just kidding, they're not friends of mine. And it talks about institutional investors are dumping gold for Bitcoin, seen as a better inflation hedge. And it states here there's 3 key drivers. And I think this is the same thing we've been talking about on the show. The first one is that the recent assurances by U.S. policymakers that there's no intention to follow China's steps and ban the usage or mining of cryptocurrencies. We saw Jerome Powell, we saw Gary Gensler from the SEC say the same exact things. We don't care really about cryptocurrencies except for the stable coins because we want to build our CBDC or the digital dollar, and we don't like those stable coins competing with the US dollar. That's essentially what's going on. Just opinion. Now, I could be wrong. Let me know what you think in the comment section. The second reason they say is the recent rise of the Lightning Network and second layer payment solutions. And then the president of El Salvador claimed that 3 million people or Salvadorians are using the Bitcoin wallet Chivo. And I was like, I wonder how much the Lightning Network has actually grown. Well, if you take a look at like nodes, and this is from Bitcoin Visuals, this is bitcoinvisuals.com/lightning. These are the nodes themselves have just pretty much grown over time. And we have those people who are putting that much time and effort into building nodes or being part of the node and being part of the Lightning Network, things are moving in the right direction. So it makes total sense. And then lastly, the third reason is the reemergence of inflation concerns among investors. And they're all freaked out because of inflation, which really, Jerome Powell from the Fed said, it's just going to be a little bit. And it's like, oh, it's been sustained. And then, in 6 months, he'd be like, well, it's a little bit higher than we thought, but what are you going to do? So we'll see what he says in the very end, but it wasn't going the way that he wants to. Then lastly, it states the trend of funds flowing out of gold into Bitcoin has reemerged in recent weeks. In May, JP Morgan saw the opposite trend where funds flowed out of Bitcoin into gold, which I thought was odd, and I'm going to tell you why. More than 10 billion has flowed out of gold ETFs. In the same time period, more than 20 billion has flowed into Bitcoin funds. So I'm going to challenge you. I just want to take a look at some price action recently and over the last 10 years as far as the number one crypto, Bitcoin, as it compares to gold. And before I go on, just so you know, I own Bitcoin, gold, and silver. I have no animosity towards any of them. I'm just here as an investor. So take a look at this. So this is the gold price. What I did was I just put it up. Let's see if I can bring it in here. Yeah, perfect. I put it in as for the year. And the year, it's just all over the place, right? That's just the gold price. All right. Maybe you got it at 1900. Or maybe right now you bought it at 1760. Not too bad, but not the gains you were hoping for. But again, you always think like me, like, it's just a hedge. Well, let's take a look at, 2 years. So in 2 years, not so great. So maybe it's a hedge, but you're not making a lot of money off it. And actually, you're kind of losing money. But again, just a hedge, right? Then in 5 years, this is not looking good for me. If I bought it down to 1100 and, it's actually looking pretty good for me because I bought it at 1100 and now it's over at 1700. But let's take a look at 10 years. So in 10 years, again, is it a hedge? Whatever. Depends on when you bought it. Because in 2011, I might have bought it at $1,700 maybe. And over here, it's around 1730. So again, not the what I thought it might be as a store of value, perhaps. But if I'm trying to make money or anything like that, this is not the asset to do it. That's just how it is. And then people say, but it's a hedge, Rob, it's a hedge. But remember, these dollars that you are saying like this is awesome, just remember this. The thing we just talked about as far as inflation, it's still 2% per year. So in all honesty, you have to outperform the price of gold dramatically just to break even. And you're not even doing that. Now then, let's take a look at Bitcoin. So here's the last year, kind of the same thing of like we just saw with gold, a little volatile, right? I mean, look, we could have been down in the dumps, 63,000 here at the top, and then down here, 31,000. That's never good. But we are back to 54, 55,000. So, hey, pretty nice day. Let's take it back. Let's go over 2 years. Okay, now we're talking. So over 2 years, sweet Mary and Joseph, I could have bought it anywhere around here, and I would have been massively in profit. Okay, let's take it over 5 years. Let's see what we got. Again, looking pretty gosh darn good. 9,000, maybe 20,000. I'd still be at least 2-3x. Let's take it back to as far back as we can go. Well, 480 bucks, 379 or whatever else. So again, if anybody's out there and they're saying, you know what, if you want to get rich, you got to invest in gold. The numbers don't support that. If you want to say it as a hedge, I guess. But in all honesty, again, you have to take into account for inflation. So that is the bullish news. And this is why I think that we're going into November as far as like a tailwind. I think we're going to see some pretty good numbers, especially as money potentially flows out of Bitcoin and this advent of a potential Bitcoin ETF, which may be good or bad, but at least it'll cause a lot of buzz. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section. Let's move on to our next piece where we talk about Google and BAKKT. First of all, BAKKT we've been covering forever, and BAKKT was like one of those companies I thought was going to do really great because it is from the International Continental Exchange, or ICE, Intercontinental Exchange, which is backed up by the New York Stock Exchange. And I thought it'd be great, and it's just been doing zip for the longest time. But good news on the horizon. Here's what we got. So Google collaborates with BAKKT. ICE digital asset platform BAKKT announced Friday it was partnered with Google to introduce digital assets to millions of consumers. Well, this sounds good. Kinda, but wait. BAKKT was launched in 2018 by ICE, the parent company of the New York Stock Exchange. So you think, wow, there's a lot of good money in there, and they're going to do great. They just haven't done anything. This app has been coming for like the last ever, and now it's just barely here. BAKKT explained that users will be able to add their virtual BAKKT debit card into Google Pay to purchase everyday goods and services in store or wherever Google is accepted. Well, that sounds good until you read the next sentence. Crypto, such as Bitcoin, will be converted to fiat currency for these payments to occur. Well, that's not so good, because what we want these payment processors to do is to keep it into crypto. They won't do that because it's way too volatile, but at least it's a kind of a step in the right direction. But wait, there's good news on the horizon. BAKKT selected Google Cloud. The company will make marketed solution powered by Google Cloud to leading retailers. BAKKT also plans to leverage Google Cloud's tools to build new analytics, along with AI, machine learning, and geolocation function. Why is that important? I'm going to tell you why it's important. First of all, I didn't realize that the BAKKT app was actually out and you could do stuff with it, but here it is. You can download the App Store or on the Google Play Store. I downloaded on my phone. I've been playing around right now. I'll tell you how it works in a little bit, but this is the cool stuff. So this is from the Mac Store. You can send money. You can pay a friend back instantly with BAKKT, send Bitcoin or pay them with cash, or gift cards with 100 plus supported brands, whether or not they are a BAKKT user, or not. You can pay with Bitcoin or cash. Use Bitcoin Visa debit card to send Bitcoin or cash in store or online, anywhere Apple Pay is accepted. And then you can track, and this is, I think, is the big one, because what we just talked about with the cloud storage. Easily manage supported rewards programs side by side with your Bitcoin, gift cards, and cash, and stay on top of all your money. Convert points from supported rewards program. So this right here is why I'm like, that's a pretty good thing. Now there's other programs that do that. StormX comes to light right now, and the one we're going to talk about in a second comes in the second. But in all honesty, if we're taking a look at rewards, why wouldn't these companies get on board with this? Like Marriott, Chipotle, I guess, Chase, Alaska Airlines, Ultra, Delta, Southwest Airlines, any kind of hotel chain, any kind of retailer, because they're like, oh, we're going to get you these rewards because people want to pay in crypto. We don't care what they do. We're going to transfer into fiat. That's fine. Oh, also on top of that, we've got another machine learning and artificial intelligence and geolocation. We're going to be able to track so many things of what these people buy and give this data to you. Again, they're going to take your data. They're going to take your data. They're going to take your data. It's just the nature of the beast. And these things, these retailers are going to be like, I want that. I don't care what it is. I'll take the crypto. I'll convert it, whatever else. So this, to me, is positive. Unfortunately, the data stealing, not a great thing, but it is what it is. So when we take a look at this, it is bullish news all the way around, but I think we are just a little bit more privy to the good information. So that is the conclusion of that one. And then also when I think about rewards programs and things like that, the thing that I always think about is StormX, because first of all, I'm biased and I have a lot of StormX, and second of all, I use it. But then also, there is another option, BAKKT StormX, and there's a token that is integrated with Amazon, eBay, and Walmart. Crazy, right? And it is called Shopping.io. And I just dropped a video on this on Dan Clips, which is where we do the advancements in digital assets and stuff like that. And I just went over a mini deep dive. And you can watch it. It's live right now. It was not a promotional video. Promotions are stuff like in the top left-hand corner for I Trust Capital. But I just do affiliate links these days. But anyhow, this Shopping.io, they only have, it's pretty crazy. They only have 1 million tokens. Their all-time high was around $300. Now it's at $50, and they have integration with all 3 of these companies. So if you want to check those out, you can do so. There's the video. I'll link at the very end. It's investment opinion, not investment advice. Looks interesting. And that's it. So look,